Hello, my name is Bridget Walters. I'm a nurse practitioner student for Albany State University. My presentation today is on diabetes prevention. Diabetes is a disorder of metabolism. It affects your body's ability to make enough insulin, or any insulin, to metabolize carbohydrates and use them for energy. When you have diabetes, it can lead to many different complications, including heart attacks and strokes. It's the leading cause of adult onset blindness. It's also the leading cause of renal failure in the United States. Signs and symptoms of diabetes include increased urination. The body's kidneys try to filter out the glucose and keep you in the bathroom. When you are urinating more frequently, you're also losing more fluid, so it makes you have increased thirst. You're also hungry more frequently because your body's not able to use the carbohydrates for energy. And so even though you're eating food, you stay hungry, and some people even have unexplained weight loss. Other symptoms of diabetes include fatigue and wounds or infections that don't heal quickly. Risk factors for diabetes include obesity. Obesity is the #1 contributing factor to type 2 diabetes. Not all diabetics are overweight, but 80% of type 2 diabetics do have trouble with their weight or are considered overweight. Other risk factors include ethnicity. In our area, African Americans and Hispanics have a higher rate of diabetes. Heredity is also a risk factor. If one parent has diabetes, then the child has a 10 to 15% increased risk of getting diabetes. Any injury or damage to the pancreas can also lead to diabetes. The only one of the risk factors that we have any control over is obesity. Again, 80% of diabetics are considered overweight or obese. We can't control our ethnicity. We can't control who our parents are. We can't control getting older, but we do have a little bit of control over our weight. Statistics show that gaining 11 to 18 pounds will more than double your risk of getting type 2 diabetes. So if you can think about losing just 11 to 18 pounds if you are overweight, think about how that can help reduce the risk of getting type 2 diabetes. Right now we have about 26 million Americans who are diabetic, and 90 to 95% of those have type 2 diabetes. The scary thing is another 79 million more people are waiting in line to get diabetes, which means that they have a higher risk for having type 2 diabetes, or either they already are considered pre-diabetic. There are some ways that we can help to minimize the risk for type 2 diabetes. And again, it focuses on losing weight or having a healthy weight by eating healthy and by exercising. We are all adults are encouraged to exercise at least 30 minutes, 4 to 5 days a week. And with that, you want to have both cardiovascular exercise and also strength training. There are certain ways that you can incorporate physical activity into your daily routine. For instance, instead of riding through the car wash, you can get out and wash your own car. Instead of taking the elevator or the escalator, you can walk up the steps. When going to the grocery store, going to Walmart, you can park at the back of the parking lot and walk the few extra steps instead of driving around until you find a close parking place. A lot of people complain about not having enough time in the day to exercise, but if you add a few extra steps in doing your normal routines, such as vacuuming or washing dishes, cut on some music to make you speed up a little bit, it can help to add more physical activity into your normal routine and not take up too much time. Although 30 minutes are recommended, you can break that up into different periods throughout the day. 10 minutes at the time all adds up to 30 minutes if you do it 3 times during the day. And they say that if you keep your heart rate up for at least 8 minutes at the time, then you're getting the cardiovascular benefits of exercise. In addition to physical activity, eating healthy is very important. My Plate is a good model to use whenever choosing the foods for your plate. And you want to make sure that half of your foods, or half of your plate, is made up of fruits and vegetables. You want to have a colorful plate, and only a quarter of it should come from protein or meat substitute, and a quarter of it should be breads and grains. And again, you want the rest of it to come from fruits and vegetables. 1 serving size of a cooked vegetable is a half a cup of cooked vegetables. Same thing with most fruits. And with carbohydrates, 1 slice of bread is considered 1 serving. So if you're eating a sandwich, of course, that's going to be 2 carbohydrates just by having the 2 slices of bread. Make sure that you choose nutrient-dense foods. Bacon is not a meat. Bacon is actually considered a fat because it doesn't have enough protein to be considered a meat. So make sure that you know what is in the foods that you're eating, and then when you do choose foods, that you choose healthier foods and healthier options. All products at the grocery store, unless they're fresh fruits and vegetables now, are required to have nutrition facts or food labels on them. And this one little cup of fruit here says that it has 70 calories. But if you look close enough, you can see that 1 serving is actually 1/2 of a cup, which would be half of this. There are 2 servings in this 1 cup, a fruit cup. So be sure that you know how many servings you're eating too. 20 years ago, if you were to go to a fast food restaurant and order a large French fry, you would be given what a small French fry is today. So we, as Americans, have quadrupled our portion sizes and think that eating more is better. And in reality, it's not. It's actually hurting us or harming us by making us gain weight and having too much food. Even healthy foods can be considered unhealthy if you eat them in abundance. This poster that I have here on my board shows an example of how we fix our plates, or we tend to fix our plates with a cheeseburger with French fries and the sides that go along with it. And in reality, this is what our plate should look like. So be careful when you are eating foods, and keep in mind that the portion sizes has a lot to do with whether it's considered healthy or unhealthy. So again, make sure that you're exercising at least 30 minutes a day, choose healthy foods, and watch out for the signs and symptoms of diabetes. And if you have any questions or concerns about developing diabetes, please contact your healthcare provider. And I have some brochures here that I would like to share with you on how foods affect your body and prediabetes, and also how children are at risk for type 2 diabetes. Thank you.